Alright, hey guys. So in this video, I'm going to discuss problem number G, maximizing the remaining string from code forces round 710 division 3. So I'm simply going to discuss my thinking approach, that how I came up with the solution, so that you guys can actually understand that how to think about some tougher questions in the contests. So yeah. Now, the question is that we are given with a string s, and what we have to do is that we have to remove some characters from string s such that the number of occurrence of each and every character in string s, that is number of occurrence of C, A, O, whatever are the alphabets in the string s, has been reduced to 1, and that will generate an answer string. Let's call the string as answer. So we have to make sure that whatever is that answer string, it also has to be lexicographically maximum string possible, right? So this is the whole question. Now, when I was solving this question, first thing that I started working on was, okay, I'm having an answer string. How can I make sure that that answer string is lexicographically maximum, right? So a crucial observation, or you can say that an intuitive approach for solving any kind of question which says that it has to be lexicographically maximum, is that if let's say that I'm working at an let's call this particular string as answer, right? Answer. So if I'm working at any index of this answer, let's say that I want to find out what is the ith index of this answer. So I just need to make sure that whatever is the ith index, it has to be as big as possible. Reason, because if there is any other character which is bigger than, let's say that I said that, okay, I can fill C over here, but I can actually also fill D over here. And since I can actually fill D over here, that means that the string that is getting the answer which is having D at this particular position will be greater than C, and hence I have to make sure that this particular character has to have D over here instead of C. So in short, what I have to make sure is that whatever are the possible characters that I can insert over here, I have to always insert the maximum possible character at this particular index I. And I have to start this iteration from 0, because the more greater character are at the first of the answer, the greater that particular string will be lexicographically as compared to other answers string that are possible. So that was the first observation, that okay, I have to start iterating from 0, and I have to essentially find out what is the maximum possible character I can insert at particular index, right? So that was the first observation. The second observation was that actually it's not an observation, it's just about thinking about the process, that okay, I know that I have to check each and every index. How can I validate a particular character, that can I insert this particular character at this position or not? Because for checking maximum, that's the simple part. We can simply start iterating for each and every indexes. We can simply start iterating from Z, that whether I can insert Z over here or not, whether I can insert Y over here or not. The tougher part is that how to actually understand that which character I can actually insert over here, right? Like how to check whether I can insert Y over here or not. So that's the greedy approach that we are going to make. Basically, what's happening over here is that let's say that I'm having a string which is this is just a randomly typed string, and I just have to make sure, for example, I'm checking that whether I can insert I or not over here. So the greedy approach for checking I is that first of all, I just need to check that what is the first occurrence of I, that where is I actually occurring for the first time in our string S. Okay, let's say that I was occurring over here. So now I need to check that in this particular substring, does it have all the characters which are still remaining that I have to add on answer? Because what I have to make sure is that this answer has all the characters which were in S and which are not used. For example, let's say that I was at this particular index and I have used some of the characters over here. Okay. So now I just need to make sure that whatever are the remaining characters that I have to insert over here, can I find those character in this particular substring? If I can find those characters, then I can actually insert I over here. And since I am starting from Z, Y, X, the first occurrence that, let's say that I is the first character that I have found, which is actually valid. That is, I can actually insert I over here. Then I can get the answer that, okay, I can insert over here. Now I can move on to the second character. And That's the whole thinking approach for this question, right? Basically, what we have to do is that we have to start iterating from 0 to n, 0 to x. Let's call the length of answer to be x. X is answer dot size. And for each and every indexes of answer, I just need to iterate from z to a and basically check that whether I can actually insert that particular character over here or not. And the moment I actually find a character that I can insert, I can simply put that character in this particular position and move on. So now comes the part of how to calculate that whether this particular substring, let's say that I was working at I, whether this particular substring is having all the characters which are required to be inserted after inserting this I. So we are going to use something called as prefix sum. Basically what we are going to do over here is that we are simply going to check that for each and every character, like I have done that, I need to check that whether I can insert I or not. So now I would be doing this thing that I would be checking for each and every string A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J up to Z, that that whether I have inserted Z over here or not. If I have inserted Z in our answer, then there is no point in checking Z because I have already inserted it. There cannot be more than one Z in our answer. So I will be ignoring it. Second point, I would be checking that whether there is an H in this string or not. Because if there is no H, then also there is no point in checking it. How to check whether there is an H or not? I'm going to maintain a prefix sum starting from the last to the first character, and that prefix sum will simply be telling me, let's say that prefix sum looks somewhat like this: sum of I 0, where I okay, let's make it int because I've already used I over here. Let's call this I as index. So this sum int 0 will be telling me that what is the number of occurrence of a character 0. By the way, 0 simply means that what is the ASCII value of that particular character minus a. So you can simply understand this, that what is the occurrence of a. If I start from end and I reach over here, then what is the occurrence of total number of occurrence of a till here. So I simply need to check that was there any occurrence of a at index 0. If there was an occurrence of a, then I need to check that is there any occurrence of a at this particular index that I'm working on. For example, I can find the index of this I, and then I need to check is there any occurrence of a over here. If there is an occurrence of a, then that means that in this particular segment there is an a which I can insert in our answer later if I have inserted I over here, right? So that means we can put I if I am simply checking for a, and I essentially need to do this for each and every character to make sure that all of the remaining characters are in this segments. Now, why are we taking the first character for each case? Like, why am I taking the first character of I? Because greedily speaking, this is the best chance of actually obtaining all the larger the string substring is, there is more chances that I would be getting a character which is occurring inside our string s, and I can use it in our answer later. So this was the whole approach. Actually, I'm not that comfortable in English, so somewhere you might be finding it a bit difficult to understand what I'm saying, but I will be improving. So that's that. So this is the whole approach that I have done for this question. Now, if you are interested in the code, I can actually show you the code. I will be putting this code in the description, but I would be telling you to implement this code on your own. The reason being the implementation part of this question was fairly good. The thinking part of this question was still fairly easy to understand. Basically, what you had to do was that first of all, you have to understand what lexicographically maximum means. Then you have to understand that why greedily taking the first index is always helpful. And then you have to make sure that how to check whether this segment is having all the characters or not. So each of this operation would be taking, like checking part would be taking us 26 times after pre-calculating this prefix sum, and calculating prefix sum would be in the order of big of n into 26. So checking part for each and every query would be taking us 26 operation, and I need to make sure that this operation goes for each and every character, and I have to continue this till the length of the answer. And what is the maximum length of the answer which is possible? It can be 26 because number of unique character can be 26. So this is the number of iteration in the worst case that can happen. So the overall time complexity will fit for this particular case, and yeah, this was the whole answer. Now I can go through the code, but again, there is no point in going through it. You can understand it on your own if you have understood the main approach. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys think that I should be working on something, do leave feedback on the description. Thank you for watching.